Good evening. It's wonderful to be here, and I'm going to start by thanking Nikki very much for the introduction and for moderating this event. And thank you also for your contribution to the political discourse. Your show, Inside California Politics, is one where you really attack big issues and you address them in a substantive way. You ask the questions that need to be asked so that your viewers like us know what we need to know. Thank you for that. I also want to thank Jennifer Barrera, the CEO of the California Chamber of Commerce. These 6 months that I have been working especially closely with you as chair of Cal Chamber have been incredible because I have been able to see up close your smarts, your tenacity, your strategic mind. And what I would say is that the California business community is so fortunate to have you, and you have our trust, confidence, and respect. Thank you, Jennifer. I also want to thank Steve Fleming, the CEO of River City Bank, the largest bank in Sacramento, over $5 billion in assets. And I especially want to thank him for leading this host committee for this incredible event. And I am so glad that Cal Chamber is joined by such incredible partners and stakeholders. Tonight we have our gubernatorial candidates, and they're going to speak to you in a panel discussion. And tonight really is a night that's about California business. The best of business, capital B. And it's about us having an opportunity to be together. And it's about us having an opportunity to hear from our gubernatorial candidates. So there are several partners of Cal Chamber that were part of this event. First, there is the California New Car Dealers Association, Brian Moss. California and Brian's organization, they sell more new cars than any other state in the country. The Western Growers Association, Dave Puglia, is also here. California grows more fruits and more vegetables and more dairy than any other state in the union, and much of the bounty that you are enjoying tonight comes from the many members of Dave Puglia's organization. Promoting tourism is Visit California, led by Carolyn Bettetta, and California is one of the top markets for tourism in the country. Also joining us is the California Restaurant Association, Jot Condi. California has some of the best restaurants on the globe, and so often restaurants in our diverse culture end up being a big break for families and that fresh start for a young person. And I want to personally thank the California Restaurant Association on behalf of the 22 million consumers at SoCalGas for the CRA versus Berkeley decision that stands for chef's choice when it comes to appliances, indeed customer's choice when it comes to appliances. Thank you. Also with us is Rachel Michelin from the California Retailers Association. She represents Target, Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, Amazon. There is no way you are not doing business with the retailers in her organization. And last, and anything but least, the powerful California Apartment Association. Tom Bannon is here, and I do not use that adjective lightly. Thank you very much for your support of this event. It is truly invigorating to be with like-minded people that understand the value of, have shared values on what it is that makes California strong. And I think that we're united in several ways, 3, maybe even 4 ways. We are all united in promoting a positive investment climate for businesses to be able to grow here in California. We are also united in being solutions-oriented. We see problems as opportunities. And we are also united in knowing that when California builds, California prospers. When California connected the railroads to the rest of the country, California prospered. When the Golden Gate Bridge was built, California prospered, connecting Northern and Southern California. The aircraft industries, the shipbuilding industries from World War II, and the housing boom that followed that, California prospered. Silicon Valley, when that was built, California prospered, and our university system. And when we sent Americans in the Apollo mission to the moon, it was Californians that designed and built that command module, not Texas, not Florida, that was California. I repeat, when California builds, California prospers. And finally, if there was a fourth where we are united, whether you are in Sacramento or San Diego, and whether you are in San Francisco or Los Angeles, we are united to know that In-N-Out has the best burgers. California has many great things. We also have problems, and the affordability crisis is a big one. The affordability crisis is rooted in housing, energy, water, transportation, and the affordability crisis really is an availability crisis, and it has become one that's so serious that it endangers the inherent promise that is California. California has always symbolized opportunity in this country. It's written in our music. Think of songs like California Dreamin' from the Mamas and the Papas and Hollywood Nights by Bob Seger. And I left my heart in San Francisco, and I know from experience that Lieutenant Governor Eleni Kounalakis can sing you a phrase or two from that song if you ask her later tonight. Yes. And I even think that Tupac's California Love expresses that vibe as well. But it is obvious that we must change this trajectory on affordability in this state. Right now, Californians feel overwhelmed and they feel let down. And we as business leaders have three choices. First thing we can do is do nothing. So often that is what ends up being the choice that's made. Another option we have is to work on narrow parochial issues that meet our interest. And the third option is we unite with other business and other stakeholders to build a better California. I think that the choice is clear, that we need to build a better California and solve real problems. And one of the benefits of solving real problems is that it regains trust in business and in government institutions that has been absent of late. Right now, we look like combatants with one another, fighting for our respective interests. And what Californians need and want is they want to know that we're working together and that we are working for their interests. And it is needed now. It's needed now because the Rand Corporation published a series of results that tell us the time is now. 7 of the most costly metro areas in the state of California, in the United States, are in the state of California. Housing is the most expensive to build in California in every single cost category that there is to have a category on. And the outmigration that we're experiencing in California is very real. And when people leave, we lose tax revenue, we lose brain power, and we lose valued employees. And those are the people that we're going to need if we're going to build a better California. And I need a little water. So, why am I invested in California's future? I'm not from California, I'm from South Louisiana. And I am a first-generation American. But California has always represented that shining city on the hill for me. That first time I got an opportunity to live and work in California, the first time in San Francisco, and now again in Los Angeles, I felt like the luckiest person in the world. I still feel like the luckiest person in the world. And I think that we can build that shining city again. But the way that we need to do it is to build. Again, when California builds, California prospers. Housing, water, energy, transportation, we need all of it. Making it easier to build, and we all know this, starts with modernizing CEQA, the California Environmental Quality Act. Thank you. Some people told me that not everybody knows what CEQA is. I'm glad that I'm in this kind of audience that they do. Modernizing this 50-year-old law is essential to affordability, and it's essential to prosperity. And I have 3 proof points for you on it. Exhibit A, when we experienced the fires in Los Angeles earlier this year, the governor, the very first thing that he did was he waived CEQA. Exhibit B, in Sacramento right now in the legislature, in the Assembly and the Senate, there are major legislative proposals seeking to reform CEQA. And those are by progressive legislators of ours, but it shows that consensus that's there. And by the way, and this would be my third, this is not just a California problem. There is recognition that we need streamlining of permitting for it to be easier to build across the country. And just last week, as divided as our United States Supreme Court can be, there was a unanimous decision about narrowing the scope of NEPA, and why that's important is that NEPA is the forerunner to CEQA. And I know that there can be skepticism that this hill has already been climbed. There have already been efforts to reform CEQA, modernize CEQA, and they were not successful. What I would say is that knowing that history means that we have the power to not repeat it. Thomas Jefferson said it well. I like the dreams of the future rather than the history of the past. So let's move forward. The writing is on the wall. Speaking of walls, 40 years ago, a great Californian stood at the Brandenburg Gate in Berlin, and he spoke against the Berlin Wall, against a system that suffocated freedom and brought economic misery. On that day, California's Ronald Reagan said, "Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall." Today, Californians face an oppressive wall of regulation, and we need to say, elected officials, let's tear down these walls. Let's tear down these walls that are crushing affordability and crushing prosperity, and let's rebuild an archway that balances human needs and environmental needs. Solving affordability in California is #1 on Cal Chamber's board agenda. I hope my fellow board members get good rest. We have a lot of work to do. I'm going to remind you something that somebody taught me once, which is nothing good happens after 10 p.m. To the broader business community that's here, our partners, we hope to come back to you with an action plan. We have a very exciting night tonight, grants and awards that soon I'm going to recognize, and significant accomplishments from the past year, to be followed by a panel discussion previewing who our likely next governor will be. And I hope everyone enjoys the balance of the program tonight. Thank you very much for a few minutes with you directly. And now I think next on the agenda is to announce the Chamber of the Year Award, correct? It is my honor to announce the inaugural winner of this award. This prestigious award was created to recognize chambers of commerce that demonstrate outstanding leadership in community engagement, economic development, and advocacy. To be eligible, a chamber must meet the highest standards, including a proven track record of programs that benefit its local business communities. These chambers must also show true commitment to economic development, advocacy, and innovative strategies that drive business success. The judging for these awards included both an in-depth application review and public voting component, making this recognition one that is earned not just by their work, but by the support of their peers and their community. During the judging process, 3 exceptional chambers rose to the top. The Corona Chamber of Commerce, yes. The Murrieta-Wildomar Chamber of Commerce, and the Redlands Chamber of Commerce. And by the way, I love the Southern California bias on those. Each demonstrated outstanding dedication to their communities, innovative programming, and advocacy that made a difference. We commend them all. And now I'm honored to announce the 2025 Chamber of the Year is the Redlands Chamber of Commerce. Through WELD, their WELD mission, W-E-L-D, which stands for Workforce, Economic, and Leadership Development. The Redlands Chamber has made bold, measurable progress. In just the past year, it has helped place more than 170 individuals into jobs and a total of more than 400 since 2022. The Chamber's New Beginnings program provided meaningful employment opportunities to more than 30 formerly homeless individuals, helping transform lives and futures. They are tireless advocates, co-sponsoring legislation at the city, county, and state levels. And the Chamber's Leadership Redlands program is developing the next generation of civic and business leaders, offering immersive experiences that connect people to the heart of the community. The Redlands Chamber doesn't just support business, it energizes the entire city. With 108 ribbon cuttings, 29 networking events, 3 job fairs, and a standout community celebration like Dog Jog and New Year's Eve Orange Drop, the organization is a cornerstone of Redlands civic life. Please join me in congratulating your 2025 Chamber of the Year, the Redlands Chamber of Commerce.